Welcome everyone to the Cartist Festival 2020 Day 3. Before we start this session, a quick round of introduction. We have with us Mr. Nikun Sangi, who's the chairman of Automotive Skill Development Council, and his roles involve leading the board and setting and implementing the council's overall vision, direction, and strategy. Prior to this, Mr. Sangi had served as a director, international affairs, and past president at FADA, a renowned veteran with several decades of rich experience in automotive industry. Welcome, Mr. Sangi, to Cartist
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Next, we have Mr. Dhananjay, who is the managing director of Focus Technologies, Dubai, and has 17 years of experience as an entrepreneur and working in various other countries in different car brands from Japanese, German, and American car. Welcome, Dhananjay.
Thank you.
We have Gaurav Maan with us, who's an IT graduate from MAHE with PG in Marketing Management from IIT Mumbai. He comes with rich experience of working pan-India with various organizations as well as international business in US and Canada, and he's heading the e-learning division at Confederation of Indian Industry CII prior to starting his entrepreneurial journey at K2B Learning Private Limited. Welcome, Gaurav, to the Cartist Festival. And this session will be moderated by Mr. Anuj Guglani, who is a graduate from Nagpur University and an MBA from IIT Delhi, also LLB degree from Faculty of Art, University of Delhi. He is the founder and CEO at World Auto Forum since 2019. And he has also been CEO of ACE at Work, a consulting firm earlier. Welcome, Mr. Anuj, to the Cartist Festival 2020. Over to you. Have a great session.
Thanks, Satan Himanshu. Thanks a ton to the lady for the beautiful introductions for everyone. So friends, so a big welcome to our fellow panelists. And it's a very, very august panel. And I think we couldn't have had a better set of people for this very important topic, that is skill development. But friends, the best part is, in fact, most ironic that skill development, the entire world, the entire country talks about it. ये भी होना चाहिए, वो भी होना चाहिए, हुनर है तो सब कुछ है, हुनर है तो ये है. But it's very few people who dedicate their lives, their personal time, who are really passionate about skill development. And I think all of us are very, we are very lucky and honored to have this set of persons today on our panel who are personifying, the passion for skill development. So if we begin with Nikun sir, we all know Nikun sir is driving the sectoral council of skill development for automotive, ASDC. He has been there. He's done several sweeping changes, several reforms. So sir, COVID lockdown in a way, had stomped brakes to the skill journey and the skill revolution that, you were leading with your team at ASDC. But I'm sure these programs like the NAPS and the QP and the RPL, I think a lot was driven digitally, e-learning hub. So some things if you can share, with the audience as to how, despite COVID, the skill revolution was on by ASDC to the industry.
Thank you, Anuj, and thank you for that kind introduction. Yes, so we did, initially the pandemic came as a shock, and ASDC, obviously, like any other organization, had to shut shop. But more than that, I think it impacted our training partners because obviously skilling is not just about theory. It's a lot to do with practical hands-on, on-the-job experience. So I guess we had a big hit in terms of our skilling initiative, but we realized that this pandemic was not going to be a small one, and it's not going to be there for a short time. We had to prepare long term. And I think we came back into action very, very fast. We were able to launch our e-learning programs of skilling way back as early as June. And to a stupendous success. I mean, I was shocked myself. We had almost, so we launched 4 programs, service technicians, sales consultants, telecallers, and technician two-wheeler. And we had 20,000 plus registrations for these courses. And more than half of the people did get qualified and certified. So I think, I don't know if we had a premonition or something, but we had prepared ourselves for rolling out digital e-learning much before the pandemic came. And not only that, what we had also done was prepared ourselves for assessments digitally, which required absolutely zero intervention, human intervention, including assessments of practical exams. So the entire practical of a student was videographed and it was uploaded on a server and was digitally sent to an assessor in a different geography where neither the training partner could identify the assessor nor could the assessor identify what training center was he assessing. So an absolutely bias-free assessment. And yes, TCS EON, which is probably now the global biggest company in terms of tests and assessments. They are the ones who do all your IITs, your all the civil services, and they are doing some work globally. I mean, they do assessments for the Royal College of Surgeons, London, and that's done totally digitally. So I think that experience made a difference. It took us about almost 1.5, 2 hours to roll out, 2 years to roll that out, but we now have rolled it out. We have done about 6,000 assessments digitally and very, very successfully. And we are absolutely confident that in spite of the pandemic, the skilling revolution will continue.
That's beautiful. That's really heartening to know, Nikunj sir. So now connecting to the program that we are, in Cartist, that is car and artist, when they amalgamate, we get Cartist. So Cartist is all about modifying cars or, rejuvenating them, customizing them. And even in the automotive, it's a different revenue stream altogether. And also the profit margins are much higher in customization, accessorizing. So something on the skilling part for this particular stream?
So I think everybody needs to understand that car is not just an object. So a car or a two-wheeler or anything that you buy, and when it comes to mobility, is not just a mobility solution. There is a lot of passion involved in buying whatever you are when it comes to buying an automobile. So if it's a two-wheeler and if he's buying even an entry-level segment two-wheeler, there is also entire family comes to take delivery. He takes a lot of time to decide what he wants to buy. And in automobiles, we have always said that there are three important decisions a person takes in his life. The first one being his marriage, the second one being his house, and the third is his automobile. So that's the kind of passion that is involved in buying a vehicle. So when you buy a vehicle like that, everybody wants, I mean, at least there is this huge desire that my vehicle should look different from all the others. Why can't my vehicle be different? Because if there are 2,000 bikes on the road, why should my bike not be different? And I think that is where artists come in. That is where customization comes in. And you can see that there is such huge scope of modifying your car, totally depending upon, or even a two-wheeler, totally depending upon what is your passion, what is that feeling that you have for your vehicle. Look at all the Harley Davidsons. I mean, every bike is different. I mean, every bike is customized. And look at a Rolls Royce. So what happens in a Rolls Royce? Almost everything is handcrafted. It's not off an assembly line kind of a vehicle. Everything is handcrafted. And I think artists can contribute a lot in driving this passion, in making the vehicles far more desirable than what they are. And I think if artists come together, we in Automotive Skill Development Council can actually see if we can make a QP involved in terms of how artists can be skilled to work on automobiles. So I think by ourselves, we are too drab, we are too mundane. I don't think we'll be able to do it. It's the artists will have to come to us, will have to tell us how we can make even skilling far more colorful, far more customized, far more beautiful than just a mundane skilling platform that we are. So let them add color to skilling in automobiles too.
That's great, Sam. And I'm sure the way skilling is being done by ASDC, it's no way mundane. I have had the honor of looking at it firsthand. And in fact, I was really, really delightfully surprised by the way you launched that program, for the roadside technician skilling and training.
You are muted. Anuj, you have muted yourself.
Yeah. Sorry. So a lot of time, the roadside technicians get ignored. for various reasons, you know. But even putting a focus on them through your RPL program, recognition of prior learning, getting them a certification, they can be self-employed entrepreneurs. Even if they are working on the road, they can get rid of their bad habits. I think it's a very important socio-economic cause, and working right at the grassroots, which makes the real difference, which is beyond words, you know. Otherwise, I know, as all of us know, we are a country, you know, who loves talking. You know, we just talk, 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 talk. But that dialogue needs to be put in action. That's the most important. And Nikunj sir, when you spoke about, you know, that passion for automotive and how my vehicle should be different, it reminds me of two things. Number one, when I was with Honda Cars, you know, we had this dealer in Surat. So I used to visit there for the DMS training. And once I met a customer, at that time, I used to have two variants, 1.3 DX and 1.5 EXI in the Honda City. So 1.3 DX was a lakh and a half less, you know, expensive. So this customer, he bought a 1.3 DX and he spent 3.5 lakhs on the customization. And so the price of the final car went beyond the 1.5. And I asked him, why did you do that? And he, in his Gujarati, said, 3.5 लाख का इसमें मैंने फर्नीचर लगाया है, फर्नीचर, you know. He was so proud of it, you know. So that economic sense, or, you know, being viable was totally out of the window. He was so proud and happy about it. And second thing, what happened, you know, in the US at Ohio, talking about passion for vehicles, this gentleman, he was 82 years old. He was a Harley rider. His will, it was there in his will that he should be buried with his Harley Davidson motorcycle. So his family, when he passed away, they embalmed him and he was put erect riding his Harley Davidson. A glass cask was put, a fiber cask, and he was buried with the entire cask with the motorcycle.
Wow.
Just imagine, if you Google it, you'll see all the links. So that's the passion people have for the set of wheels.
So I don't know how many of you are watching a serial, The Crown, on Netflix. You should see the royal family cars and what they've done to their cars. I mean, it's amazing. Look at our president of India. Look at his cars. So they're all customized. I mean, the upholstery, the wood that they use inside, the mahogany wood. I mean, they make it absolutely different. And I think that's where art comes in. And I think you can really marry an automobile and an art together to give you something which is absolutely out of the world. And,
absolutely, couldn't agree more. So taking this conversation now and getting DJ in the conversation, as DJ is called by his friends, colleagues, family. So DJ is Mr. Dhananjayan. He is a global entrepreneur, and they offer consulting services, market insights, training, skill development in India and overseas. And I think DJ and his company has worked with almost every OEM across the world. So DJ, when this COVID struck, you know, I'm sure you would have been on one particular line of business. So when it struck, of course, we had to change our tracks because the clients also would have changed their tracks totally. They would have been a 180-degree turn. So how have you coped up in your skill development journey pre-COVID, during COVID, and what's your outlook possibly post-COVID as we stride?
Yeah, thank you, Anuj and Nikunj-san, I know, for giving that insight of three things that every individual is always very concerned about: marriage, home, and car. So I actually listed down on my paper to talk about it, but you really gave the insight of what is the emotional connect of the business is with every individual and the customers. So Anuj, to answer your pre-COVID and post-COVID, I would say the complete transformation is where people will never allow you to come on an online meeting for just 1 hour. You might have to fly in and fly out. Those complete transformation, even if you say, I will come, they say, no, we are, like a COVID-free environment and we don't invite guests. So the complete learning transformation has gone into a e-learning blended mode. So the new module that we do is we don't do a complete one-day training session. We split into capsules like a pills. You need to give the pills every across 8 to 10 days or across 2 months. That is really working very well. So when you engage on a one-to-one with the participants rather than having 10, 20 people, just a 5-5, so it becomes a more personalized engagement. Coming to the topic on Cartist, Himanshu, a good job, of taking this initiative with Anuj. As Nikunj already mentioned about Rolls-Royce, the detail in the excellence is what makes Rolls-Royce, the best in the world. And likewise, you also come across a lot of enthusiastic who are refurbishing the old cars and bringing it to the fine details. Like, for example, I used to go to Lucknow, and I see a lot of cars which has been done by Sweet Motors. So this dealer principal is very interested in getting it back to the thing. So, and those older cars can only be brought in shape by the artist. So the artist and the car enthusiastic is also a new dimension to the business. And I also want to lay down, the more and more business visibility in from a profitability perspective lies in personalization of the cars. And along with this, the digitalization mechanisms that is coming in, where people put in a lot of safety and controls and to monitor their car movements and other things. So that is something really a big market. So 2 weeks back, I was on a digitalization seminar, and four things they really said that's the future of the business. And artist, the car artist, can add a very big value. So maybe a job role can be added to the dealer business, wherein which one of their job criteria can be how well are they innovative and then creative in designing. Like if you look at NID, National Institute of Design, has only like two locations in India, maybe rather than taking up engineers and then building up, they have to find local artists who are very good in different skills, right from a small, stitching to a very detailed car detailing interior and exterior. They should, collaborate those things. So what I see as a skill for India is one, digitalization process. Number two, look at rural, people skilling up like how Nikunsan has done in Alwar. So those kind of models has to really go across the country. So that is the second thing I look at it. The third thing I really look at this special skills being added to make the customer feel special. Now, since the market has more number of brands, customers will opt for a specialization, car specialized design on their, interest. So even if it is a low end segment, still there might be some kind of a personal interest being built. Over to you, Nikhil.
Okay, that's
Sorry.
great. So that's great, DJ. So that means, so basically you're saying that digitalization, of course, now is it's country agnostic or region agnostic. It's a global phenomena. In fact, this reminds me, even 10 years back, I had taken a flight for a meeting. I'd gone to Chennai, and that meeting lasted just half an hour. And I was said, come on, guys, at least have it half the duration of my flight. You can't just finish it off in half an hour. That's not done. Justify the money I spent, the time I spent on the travel. So yes, so it's really made things very efficient and productive for sure. But then, so Gaurav, getting you in the conversation, how much training, how much skill development can you really do only via digital, which is the option right now? Yes, things are slowly opening up. So whether we say digital, pure digital, or phygital, so how do you think it is panning out now? After 8-9 months, we have been into it.
Yeah, so I would say that I've now spent about 2 decades almost into the e-learning and the digital learning industry. Industry has really moved in last, I would say, 12 years, rather, post the first recession that happened in 2008. I saw a lot of change in the industry. In terms of the digital learning, if you talk about, I'm sure Nikun sir would agree to me that, COVID has been, a boon for the digital learning. And this was what, much required for the industry. In our, automotive and in manufacturing industry, largely, you looked upon towards more of a face-to-face, training. However, the most of the trainings that we can do can easily be transformed into a digital learning. I would not name, but there are organizations, in auto industry who have spent about $2 to $3 million in developing various e-learning modules. However, when you see them as in terms of getting the ROI out of it, it wasn't great. But now, during these times, they're definitely moving on to. Even to an extent, organizations, which were refraining to use, technology, they are now moving on to it. And, keeping all this in mind and bringing the cartist into the picture, I would say, and again, taking the three things from Nikunj sir, where he talked about marriage, home, and vehicle. Indian market has really moved great in terms of, from home. So if you look at the home buyers are now getting very, very choosy, what kind of a things, what kind of a customization, and look around. Similarly, if I would say that the car market, especially, if we talk about the car and the passenger vehicle market, it has been, moving to a very nice era. Because, earlier, while we used to call it, if we talk about the typical car, now we are saying the mobility. Now people are talking about, so we are into the mobility business. We are no more into a car or a truck kind of a business. And therefrom also, while we are moving into the SUV and all other segments, people are now more willing to put more money into it. If you look at, Tata launched Eltros, where they say, you tell us and we will customize it as per your requirement. Right? If you go towards, I spent almost an year in Chandigarh while I was with, CII, I was heading the e-learning business. I saw people spending good amount of money, if they will buy maybe a 5-7 lakh rupees of a car, and they will invest another 5 lakh rupees in customizing it, maybe music and all other kind of stuff. Or maybe buying, a fancy numbers. So I would also see that there is something that need to be done from the OEM sides for the cartists, because, when you go and buy a vehicle, there are always accessories that you can buy from them. How about if we give them another section where they say, hey, I can help you in customizing your car? What would you say, Nikunj sir? That could be one of the wonderful thing if that comes from it. And because, there is a good amount of things where we can do a lot of skill building kind of stuff, because people are not even aware about this.
So Gaurav, I would agree with you. So I'll narrate two incidents here to bring it to reference. So I know a girl, she is basically my niece. Her name is Malika. She's some 5 foot something. She's a hardware engineer, was working in San Francisco, building computers. And she has a passion for bikes. And so she rides bikes which are 5 times her size. I couldn't believe that she could actually drive a bike at all, but she's gone all over America on those two-wheelers. And what she's passionate about is painting helmets, customizing and painting helmets. And she is now a professional artist. She has forgotten her hardware engineering. She is now a professional artist who's doing a lot of things on vehicles, including helmets, was customizing helmets for Enfield, was customizing helmets even for Indian. And she trots between Bangalore, Delhi, and San Francisco. The other incident I would like to share is my experience of going with my sister in America to buy a Mini Cooper. And so they gave us a basic price, and they asked us to sit on a computer, and they said you can actually customize your car, because in Mini Cooper, it's not really the Mini Cooper, it's how you differentiate your Mini Cooper from all others.
True.
And so with my mindset as an automobile dealer in India, I said, ki, theek hai, another 5%, 7% cost to the vehicle is accessories. And I sat down with my sister, and she said, no, I would want this and I would want that. And can you believe it, by the time we finished doing my sister's car, a Mini Cooper that she wanted, it was 2.5 times the basic price.
Oh my God.
So I think that's the kind of potential that there is. And if artists come to realize, and if artists can actually turn it into a commercial activity. And like Gaurav said, that if we have a small corner in every showroom where there are artists available, and there are artists available for everything. So there could be somebody who will do your upholstery and do a customized upholstery for you, which will not be available anywhere in the market. So I think things like that, I mean, just paint your dashboard in a manner that it looks absolutely different, or just do your grill. So I think there's so much more to buying a car and selling a car, and so much more fun for the customer to be owning a two-wheeler or a car like that, where he customizes. So this brings me to a very, very interesting point. Have you seen trucks in India? Each
Yes.
truck is customized. And the kind of art that you see on trucks, you will not see anywhere else in the world. And these are roadside painters. And what they come up with is amazing. So there are now museums which display only what's done to Indian trucks. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. Just sit down in a dhaba and look at every truck which comes and stops there. Each truck will be different with some art form. Now they also have all those hangings on the rear view mirrors.
And also some messages also.
Some messages. I mean, they make it so different. And can you ever imagine a truck driver having that passion that my truck should look absolutely different? And like you said about messages, they are awesome messages. At times they give you the world view. They'll tell you things which probably the best Vidwans will not be able to tell you. So it's awesome. I think there is a tremendous amount of potential between art and a car. And I think Himanshu has brought this to the fore. And I would definitely want Himanshu to take this forward even deeper, maybe promote it with each OEM. And like Gaurav said, have a small studio inside each dealership where these artists are available and they customize the vehicle the way you want to.
So actually, this also brings me one of my experience in Swiss way back in 2014. So there they have something called as a customer open day. So they connect this activity every in a year twice, and they present a lot of different activities, right? From leather repairs, leather interior changes, interior detailing, and also especially the one good I saw about was a car studio, which is exactly what Nikunsan said is about customization, about the overall painting changes, overall interior, complete ceiling changes, and also adding a lot of accessories and lifestyle. So I'm sure, and I'm looking forward that India's automotive retail business will add this as a new element going forward, because that has more than, I would say, only this car care and other things has more than 2.8 billion revenue potential as per Frost & Sullivan globally. So they also have, listed on another three more things. Again, could also be an interest, like from a e-commerce. They say like around 75 billion potential is there, which is untapped. Now, mobile mechanics and artists could go hand in hand, because if you look at today's retail business for service is more of pick up drop. So, and also home service, like, small activities that can be done at the doorsteps. So because people now like, so one of these services as a value add that the retail industry could add is choose your artist, whether it is an interior or exterior or anything that they want to design. And that could, eventually go on. So my recent learning is from one of this a model called CAFU, which is called CAF Car Fuel. So these guys started 2 years back in the Middle East, especially in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. So first they used to give fuel at the doorsteps of the customer at the same price where you can pump from a petrol station. So slowly they built the complete customer base over the last year and a half. Now, along with car fuel, they have just added additional service that while we come to give you a car fuel, with a small cost, we will do interior and exterior cleaning. So one of my Arabic partner, he is having around 8 cars and he's opted for this service. So now the third, they're just saying, so now, okay, you need kind of a groceries and other things. So you don't need to, go out, drive out, be in the traffic. We can just pick it on the way while you do. So the value add on to the customer-centric approaches will really make Cartist a very big, long way to go. That means convenience of the customers, either on a digital AR/VR platform or adding up, on the doorstep services to the customer with artists going and, spending their time, because these are all creative activities. It can't come with a time bound, but it will really enhance the customer towards the brand.
Absolutely. So when it comes, so if all of this can be integrated, with skill development. Because on one side, we have people who are passionate about their set of wheels, as we have all seen. On the other side, we have dealers and the people in the automotive who want to have an additional revenue stream. And on the other side, we also have the artists, the creative people. And of course, then we have the technicians, mechanics who work with the creative people to make those designs to come alive. So if all of them can be brought together like a sutradhar, it can be brought together through any one digital platform through which everybody can earn. The customer is satisfied because the customer gets a good quality creative, styling or customization for the set of wheels. And the other people, as I mentioned, they get a good livelihood. And in these days of economical struggle, nothing can be a better boon than this. So how to get all this together through a digital platform if it's possible?
So it is definitely possible through a digital platform. And I think, because we are talking of an art, we are talking of an art form. So there cannot be a straight jacket approach of A, B, C, D. This is the course and this is what you can't actually put artists in a cage and cage them and tell them that these are your limits, these are your boundaries, and this is how you need to work with. So I think it's more about giving them the freedom and the customer the confidence that yes, he is the person, he understands your car, he will do things to the car which will not spoil your car. So will he use paint which will spoil the exteriors of the car, or will he do something inside the car which will spoil the upholstery or the electronics or something like that? I think that confidence the customer will need to get, yes, these are people who understand your car, these are people who understand the material which has been used in the car, and while they'll make it more beautiful, they will also ensure that your car doesn't get damaged. And I think all this will come out of experience. You could also have something like a Gurukul. I mean, look at what Dilip Chhabria is doing. I think Dilip Chhabria has transformed how cars are looked at. And he started as a small workshop, and today he's a designer. He's actually making basic art forms, but the car forms for new car launches. So,
yes,
with Dilip Chhabria, or in turn with a lot of customization workshops which are doing purely customization of vehicles. In turn with them, do an apprenticeship course with them, and then start your own studio. So I think all this is possible. But first, like so many other courses, somewhere in counseling, in career counseling, the scope of an artist working in an automobile, I think that needs to be explained, explored, and some success stories in terms of how people who are associated with an automobile and also with art have made a career out of it. And I think once we have done that, I'm sure a lot of creative people will want to come into this field.
True. And once we have, of course, a non-straitjacketed course, or some kind of an orientation that what material is safe and or not so safe for your exterior and interior, if they can be a third-party aggregator. For example, I think a few years back I had met one of the two co-founders of this website called jazzmyride.com. So they would sell accessories online. Of course, then Amazon and Flipkart and Snapdeal to go to the next level. So if we can have an aggregator website, a portal or a web app which can aggregate all the artists and all the service providers for car or vehicle customization, and they can come to your place, they can show you designs, and also on your website, the same website, you can use AR VR to transform, like Nikun sir and his sister had done at the Mini Cooper or dealership. So similar engagements, and of course, as and when the OEMs start partnering, and there can be some OEM certifications coming through, that will win customers' trust even more, and a new ecosystem can be developed by this. So, any thoughts on this, DJ? You've seen something like this in any part of the world?
Yes, and in fact, I have a kind of a thought process that goes like a kind of a catchy tagline saying that stress buster, getting your passion onto your task. So, because this is something a catchy thing, because only people might come to kind of exhibiting their passion, exhibiting and showing a difference, from one of the other things. And I strongly believe that the customer engagement is very, very important when you want to really sell this concept across. Like Nikit-san said that it can't be a one fit solution for all. It can be a regional diversification model, and kind of SOPs. Basic SOPs can be made, but the business selling is more of an emotional transaction and also understanding from the sales consultant, because that's why I always believe a sales consultant or a service advisor is a trusted advisor, because they are the guys who can really upsell or get the information across on a dialect method. So one method generally people do in other markets is called customer dialect. So what they do is after certain period of time, before they call it as one year car birthday, before the time the person who sold the car meets the customer, either it helps him to see if there is anything that is left over that has been promised that has not been unresolved, or they look at it from a perspective that an additional service or a referral can be done. So I strongly believe that really works very well in terms of the market.
Okay.
So
Because
Anuj,
personalization could really work.
so
Yes,
Anuj,
sir.
you're talking about an OEM taking initiative like this. I think when I was talking about Malika, what Enfield did was that they would invite Enfield customers to a place where Malika was available,
Okay.
and she had her helmets displayed, and you could actually get an helmet painted by her, totally customized to your requirement. And they had
Beautiful.
so many of these studios which they did for customers. So and I think it really caught on very well. I mean, so if you go on Instagram and look for Malika Moto, and you'll find her posts,
I'm sure.
and you'll
In fact,
actually
this,
see how small she is.
I think, but her acts are pretty giant, I would say, as one can make out. In fact, what comes to my mind by listening to these things, is, that a lot of fundraisers can also be planned around them. For example, if you take Malika's example, Royal Enfield partnered her. If there are 2 dozen helmets for 2 dozen customers, and there's one special helmet which gets designed and that gets auctioned, just the way the first Mahindra Thar was auctioned for charity. So you can do a lot of charity fundraisers also. Through it can be a powerful driver. It can be a magnet for the who's who of the society. That this is where you get a fundraiser, you get art, you get cars, and so it's beauty with a purpose. Purposeful profit. That's how we can look at it. So
So,
Gaurav, I see. Yeah, yes, sir.
so Anuj, sorry for interfering. I mean, so something which we are totally missing out is what Himanshu is doing. So I don't know if you've gone to one of those Himanshu festivals, and he has done furniture out of scrap of cars. I mean, an
Yes, yes,
awesome
I'm aware.
furniture, absolutely awesome furniture. You need to, I'm sure you will not be able to stop yourself from buying it.
I'm sure.
And it's a beautiful art form. I mean, you look at the Make in India lion, which is
Absolutely.
used as the symbol for Make in India.
True.
It's an art form which has come out of vehicle scrap.
True.
So, and with a scrappage policy coming in, we are sure it will come very soon. A lot of that scrap would be available, which can be converted into an art form.
Absolutely.
Similarly, which is coming in is which is saying re-registration of vintage cars. So which also means that you'll be able to then drive your vintage cars on roads, because once they are re-registered and certified, you can actually make them. So there is this huge scope which is coming in, partly driven by government policy and partly by people like Himanshu, who have actually shown that how art can come out of any form. I mean, you have to actually
Absolutely.
see that those scrap furnitures which Himanshu has been able to do in his Cartist festivals, they are absolutely amazing. And I think
So
we
in
can
fact,
actually skill people to draw that scrap and see how they can convert it into not just art, but also utility.
true,
So it's
true.
art with utility.
Absolutely. If so, probably it can be part of the mechanics training, the technicians training. that on the side, off your duty hours, you can also probably make a furniture, out of these scrap parts, and they can be sold at a premium. They can be auctioned. In fact, 2 years back, when we had done the third edition of the IBSMS, so Cartist Himanshu were our sustainability partner. So he had displayed this Jaguar E-Type made out of scrap and a few furniture, and it was the big draw. Everybody who during the tea coffee breaks would go there only and nowhere else. In fact, one of the booths, occupiers had even said, "Hey, it's a good idea to have a booth right next to Cartist. You'll get the maximum crowd."
Yeah. So I wanted to also share one of the model that we can look into Cartist, which is a model that has been kind of since 1999, when I was a student member of Society of Automotive Engineers, where they used to give kind of a 6-month timeline to build competition. So 1999, there used to be something called as a fish card in Chennai. So these are the goods carrier kind of vehicles, and there was a lot of safety issues. So SE India thrown out a competition to the students. In a 6 months, they should come with the most safety aspect being built into the fish card. So you can see like 20 teams participated across India in 2000, 2001, and they really brought a lot of safety factors into it. So really, I was really, happy when, Nikunj San went to the World Skill competition and brought a big thing for India. And that is something, a drive for the country. So that is something we need to now kind of have a mini skill India. And like for the Cartist, could start the way to interact with people is start to identify the best artists in the country by giving some kind of an opportunity to compete for a competition. And from there, we can pick the best of the best. And eventually build a kind of a council or core team that could, build this work way forward. How this could be a great skill that, apart from we do skill training on welding and other mechatronics or mechanics and other things, this could also become a kind of a specialization that, Skill India and ASDC along with Cartist can contribute. So I'm looking forward to that kind of a framework that could, develop over the next years.
I think that's a great idea, DJ, that you've just shared. So actually, this can expand. It can actually create a huge Cartist community, and thanks to digital, it can be across the world. Because now, as we had discussed, that acceptance of digital, that acceptance of Zooms and Google Meets has come in. So Gaurav, if suppose we have to make this kind of a community, and like you have been into training, learning for 2 decades now, and I see a lot of mnemonics right behind you, tech-enabled learning and experiential intervention. And the third and fourth, I can't see because you are blocking them, so you'll have to mention on your own. So if we have to, make this community really vibrant, of car customization, so what kind of digital, what kind of knowledge support can one give to them? Say, suppose you have to do that.
See, it has, 2 levels at this point of time. And, Nikunj sir also mentioned, as the DJ also mentioned, and somewhere you also said, the first and foremost thing is awareness. People are not even aware about that this kind of a job or this skill, if I possess, I can find something to earn my living out of it. The first thing. So definitely a lot of a counseling that need to be done at the schooling level, maybe 9th through 12th. And once somebody picks it up, then how do we take it forward? That's a first thing. When we talk about digital, I really like your idea where you said that, bringing people onto a one place and just telling to the whole world that, hey, that you can do. See, if we talk about today, VR and AR, virtual and augmented reality is playing a big role when we talk about home. We talk about 3 things: marriage, home, and, the vehicle, right? We can't do about marriage, that's a separate thing. There are different tools that are coming onto it, right? Over here, while we talk about
do you do training for that as well, Gaurav?
No, not at all. Not there.
You've been big demand, man. I can tell you that.
Right. The thing is, when you look at home, wherever you go, what kind of tiles that you need to put, what kind of a paint that you need to put, VR and AR is playing big roles. I know companies and we work with them day in, day out, where they've actually put on their dealership. The moment you walked into it, you wanted to see, okay, which tiles will go right in my bathroom, which bathroom you wanted to have, which are the floor tiles, which are the wall tiles that you wanted to put. Just show you the complete piece of it. Can we do the same with our vehicle also? Right? And for that, we need to first train our own people. How do they use technology? Because some of them may be excellent when it comes to the designing things, but how do they bring technology onto it? And as you said very clearly, good that, where the training comes a bigger role, because yes, today, we are doing a lot of digital learning and a lot of things are moving on to it, but it will take slow and steady because we are not still accepting it. That's a hard fact, just to tell you. Today there's a lot of fight goes on to it that, how much learning has to happen in the schooling time, college time, and all of that. But yes, it is gradually picking it up. People are accepting it. A lot of people are now moving on to produce the right content which goes on digital piece. That is there. And Nikunj sir, as you said, using those, the old scrap and using that vehicle, I went to that a pub in Sector 29, Gurgaon, and they have used very nice, old scooters to sit over there. They have used very nicely the seats of the old ambassador to sit and, make it a good. So that's definitely a one good thing, people can utilize. But the first and foremost thing is, are people aware about that? Yes, that is also one of the profession which is available. Some who have made a life out of it, great, they are doing it. But then, everyone is like, am I good? So over here, I see a big role of OEMs to come into the play and say, hey, we are there to support you. What do you say, Nikunj sir?
Yes, you're right, Gaurav. And I think even at the cost of repeating, some of it is being done by Himanshu. And so I've been seeing Himanshu's journey from where he started Cartist and where he is today. I mean, in the Auto Expo, in the CII exposition, the most premium place is given to him because that's where people will actually come. And I think now OEMs are promoting him, OEMs are supporting him, OEMs take them around. And I think it is for people like us, people in the skilling universe, people in the training universe, that when we speak of career counseling, when we speak of job roles, we also make people aware that yes, if you are creative, if you are an artist, and if you also have a passion with automobiles, you can combine your creativity, you can combine your art with an automobile and become a specialized person who uses art to transform an automobile. And I think that's a career guidance which people in the skilling and training ecosystem will need to start talking about, making children aware. And children these days are extremely creative and want to do something absolutely different. So they don't want to be run by the mill kind of stuff. So I think there is a huge amount of responsibility in lies with us, with OEMs, with people in this trade, to actually make people aware of this art form, an art form which goes on with vehicles, whether on a vehicle or with the scrappage of a vehicle. I think there is a huge amount of art form which is involved. I don't know if you have seen the dhaba in Claridge's in Delhi. The entire art in that dhaba is about vehicles, is about trucks, and the art form that we talked about. So I think there is scope, there is need, and we should start talking about this art form in all our career counseling expositions, and it will make a difference. I'm sure people will get interested. It might start as a trickle, but I'm sure it will become a stream and finally a river.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more on that. In fact, there are many restaurants made on these themes. The first which I can relate to is Tito's Garage Pub, which has been there in Mumbai. Recently, it got shut down for different reasons, but it had been the talk of the town in Bandra for decades. In fact, I remember going there each time when I would be at Mumbai. So, and it would always be full. Even on a weekday, it would be full. So that community which connected to Tito's Garage Pub, so it was inseparable. In fact, I remember on Facebook, people were so emotional when it got shut for different reasons. In fact, I got a call from my school friend, hey, can you guess? He was, very disturbed on phone. I said, what happened? He said, yeah, Tito's band ho gaya on. I said, oh. So everybody was disturbed. So this community surely is there. So the demand is surely there. When we do business planning, when we start any new business, we first talk about the demand. Even during the pandemic, when we're talking about revival, we always said demand, demand. When would the demand kick back? So the demand is surely there. What needs to be done, the genesis is that, we need to stop checking our kids ki ye kya gaadiyan bana raha hai, faltu mein time pass kar raha hai. We need to stop telling our children that. Those plain Jane conventional careers, of course, they are a past, but still, because I'm yet to come across a kid who would not have drawn cards, at the back of his or her notebook. So somewhere that we need to stop discouraging that, because wahi ek Dalip Chhabria hai, wahi, you'll find, some new designer. And when that gets the acceptance, the social acceptance, in our country, social acceptance is a very big thing. Like, in the Gulf, DJ would have trained so many, car technicians, mechanics. It's socially acceptable. In India, is being a car mechanic or technician socially acceptable? Social ज़्यादा होता है, social acceptance कम होती है. Would you give your daughter's hand in marriage, in a wedlock, to a guy who says, I am a mechanic, I'm a technician? You will not. So that social acceptance is very important. I'm a car designer. I design cars or I paint cars. They'll say, hey, this guy is not stable. He will not be able to have a stable income. Most of the people we see in startups in the Silicon Valley, they are all dropouts. But any dropout in India, uske to बेचारे की शादी नहीं हो पाएगी. So that social dilemma, that stigma we need to overcome. And we need to make this career inclusive, that it is just like any other engineering, medical or CA, probably if not better, So skill dev, if that can empower in some way, I'm not sure how much social acceptance can be done, but I'm sure once it kind of is shown as a mainstream, it will change the way, it will fight that stigma, it will, fight those thought processes, the negative ones.
Yeah, no, I think you really, touched upon the right perspective of the community and the social thought process that is really a big changer in India. But of late, in the last 8 months, COVID has really brought in people a real big change of thoughts and things. So, for example, down south, people used to say the bride is in US or Europe and things like that. They used to give the girl, but now it is changing. They say, no, the guy has to be locally present. So, it is the biggest transition that is happening in a down south region and also many parts of the country. Like people now want to go abroad, work for a few weeks, few months and come back, but they need to be in India. So this all comes from, like Gaurav said, awareness. So that is the first step, is really a very, very important factor, both from a career counseling point of view for the guys, right from 8, 9, 10, we start telling that this is also one option as a career that you can pursue and there's a lot to do for it. Second, also from a community perspective, like the best example is Enfield. The customer becoming the ambassadors would really pull in this car artist to go a long way. And the third thing is really, looking at from a skill perspective, is really bringing in offerings and putting up job roles and, making those clear guidelines from a global benchmarking perspective. I think that would really take things in a very, very big way. There is a big scope and there is one new line of business and one new line of skills that is not noticed so far. And Himanshu, congratulations for taking this, one topic and driving your passion for the last couple of years. And I'm sure the day in, day out of struggles is where you're right now. So really, it's a real good thought process going forward.
Absolutely. So last final remarks, Gaurav, from your end, then Nikunj sir, then we wrap up the discussion.
I was watching yesterday the movie called as Black Beauty, right? It's on a horse and a girl. It says that, that the horse, while you're riding, it's the, it shows your soul and shows your character. Similarly, your vehicle shows very much about your character, right? What vehicle do I ride? What, bike I ride? What vehicle I drive? So if as a car artist, if I can bring it out, that could be a phenomenal thing. And I think that's a one thing, I think on one single thing, we can actually make it more awareness about it. And people would love to get it done. Right. My only thing is awareness. While I did it 20 years back, e-learning, I used to sell CDs. Right.
Yeah.
My only job was to tell people how e-learning can, it took 10, 12 years just to make sure awareness. And today now acceptance is happening.
So, well, I think when we were talking of all this, I remembered the great artist M.F. Hussain and where he started. He used to do cinema posters, those wall paintings. From there, he became one of the biggest Indian artists in the global sphere. So I think art has no end, art has no limits. And I'm sure car art itself was not recognized, but it is getting more and more recognized. And I think the more it gets recognized, the more it becomes aware. A lot of youngsters, a lot of creative people would want to become cartists.
So we have seen that a vehicle is the extension of one's personality, so it can be customized. And yes, we have to build a community around it, and awareness, and some skilling added to it. And surely the customer demand is there. And Himanshu, you have won a lot of adoration. So we were sure you would have been sneezing, or you would be having a.
It was a wonderful session, and I would like to take the opportunity to say my biggest thanks to Nikunj sir, because he has seen our journey. He has been an instrumental support to our Cartist. I know when we wanted to start this Cartist Yatra, it was just 2 days before I went and meet him in Jaipur. He was there for a wedding. And he was so kind and so generous. He called up the Mahindra to give us the support, but it could not be reached. But he managed to call each and every dealer in whichever city we went. And that small amount of support from each dealer has helped us to reach here. So Nikunj sir, I am short of words to say thank you to you for all your support.
Thank you, Jay.
Beautiful, fantastic, beautiful.
And Anuj sir, who has always brought us to his sessions, our artworks, thank you so much. Thank you, Dhananjay. Thank you, Gaurav, for giving your insight thoughts on this session. Thank you, everyone, from my heart to helping Cartist to survive. Thank you.
Survive and thrive. Don't just say survive.
Surely, we are on that mission. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.